Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me for coffee. Hey, I was thinking about something. There's this thing, and it's you ever heard of the periodic table? That's 118 confirmed elements. You may remember it from high school or college. So the way that science works is that they like to dissect everything down to its base elements. And that there isn't a base element that says what you're going to do or what you're going to be. The way that science works is that Dr. Richard Leakey spent decades looking at how long human beings have been around. And he found some bones, a whole selection, that originally dated to be 1.2 million years old. And after a series of arguments, some people argued that it's only 50,000 years old. Some people argued that it's 2 million years old. But it doesn't really matter, because things like the periodic table have always been there. We just didn't discover it yet. Well, you know how many of those 118 elements are found in the human body? 60. The average adult body contains those 60 elements, and 6 of them make up 90% of your mass. But the trace elements, right? There's just little things, these little flavors of elements. So one of those is iron. Do you know what you're called if you don't have iron? Dead. So I'm actually getting somewhere, and I'll do it quickly. But the thing is about the trace elements, if you don't have them, you're dead. Like oxygen in your blood, and iodine is even smaller, but without it, your thyroid fails and your metabolism collapses. Now, some folks take these facts and run in strange directions. Greg Braden talked about DNA, and that there is a sort of God code in DNA, because some of the strains and strands of DNA look like letters. Well, the whole thing looks like some kind of braided knot project from the Celtic Empire, which there is people who say that those knots, those lines, those Futhark shapes were actually language being translated on a basket or something. Well, if our DNA resembles one of those knotted ropes, does that mean that we're all secretly Celtic? Or Druidic? No. I mean, the DNA has existed for as long as human being has, and none of those cultures are certainly none of them are more than 25,000 years old. So the thing is that as it relates to DNA, there's every once in a while we'll get a news article that they've discovered the hero DNA, or they've discovered the charisma DNA, or they've discovered some other kind of DNA, and none of that is real. So, I mean, the DNA is real, but there's nothing substantiating or supporting. Oh, I guess I should tell you about this. So if you want to find out more about me, you can find me at harrisforsenate.com, and also on my Substack, and you can do so with this QR code. So, let me get back to my thing here. So, I look at some of the things that people claim about what makes you up, what makes you up, and I don't know whether it's God or goddamn. I don't think that there's ever been anybody who could decide what somebody's going to be when they're born. And I'm not saying that there isn't judgment. I think that every child born should be looked at as a gift from the Creator, rather than they're being judged by the race, creed, color, religion, and finances of their parents. I think we should just guide them, help them to be whatever they discover in their lives they want to be. But if we can assume that every child is a gift from the universe, that's where the work starts. Okay? I mean, look at what human beings have gone through. Whether you think the civilization has been around for 50,000 years or 2 million. Look at what human beings have gone through. We have archaeological records of storms and wipeouts and earthquakes and volcanoes and all of that. And people get through it. In your own life, you ever had your heart ripped out? Emotionally, mentally, spiritually? Ever? What about all the other stuff? What about the stress and things that go on in life? What about that? You're amazing. You're still standing. And I don't care if you're 18 or 80, you've been through a lot in your life. And so, if people twist facts, you know what's real for you. If people try to take science and wiggle it around, you know what's real for you. Hey, you could be exactly what you want to be or what you don't want to be. You don't have to have some talking head somewhere in some device somewhere telling you who you need to be. Get to know you a little bit. Look at yourself emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, economically, in all of those ways. Because know where you are, and then you can look to where you want to be. Pretty awesome. You are pretty awesome. I mean, nature is beautiful. And whether you think God created it or it just happened, right? Nature is beautiful. The universe didn't intend for beauty to only exist outside of you. There's beauty in you. There are thousands of problems in our society. But let's just take the top 100. Well, I pretty much have proof that government nowhere gives a damn about what's going on in your life. Right? I mean, that's not a big thing. Give me a like or something if you agree with me. So, the government doesn't care about those 100 problems. But you could. And I'm not saying that you should quit your job and go be a missionary. I'm not talking about that. But if you care about what happens with kids, if you care about what happens with education, if you care about what happens with science, if you care about what happens with whatever, find some folks that are already working on exactly what you're concerned with. Whether that be an emotional, mental, spiritual, society problem, and give them $20. You'll feel good about yourself. Okay? You don't have to do it yourself. Now, please, if you feel called to do it yourself, then do it. You be the person that is out there getting it done for our society. But what I wanted to show you in this morning is that you already have the capacity. Crap, look at the stuff you've been through in your life. If you can go through that, then solving something for our society is not hard. Look, I'm running for the Senate, okay? But here's the thing. I'm not running so that I can say I'm from the government and I'm here to help. I want to get the government out of your damn way. I want you to be able to do whatever your heart calls you to do and have the government help to provide the resources for you to do that. Is that so hard? Instead of what they're doing now? Okay, look, I'm running against a couple of guys that hasn't done squat. One of them claims to be the most bipartisan. The last 4 administrations have gotten nothing done. So you want to be the most bipartisan in a group where they get nothing done? The other guy has never expressed an interest in anything other than his family. And you can decide which one I'm talking about. But what I'm saying to you is that you have the capacity. You have the ability. You are that missing ingredient. Because I'll tell you something. What they keep saying is that you're just one person. Yeah. I'm just one person. Boy, did you factor that wrong. You said that to diminish me. I know what I'm capable of. Okay? I've been doing it since 1982. I've been to 88 countries. I've spoken at the UN. I have 9 books. Yeah, I'm one person. But so are you. And you've got some capacities that you haven't even begun to open up to yet. Okay. So what they have done is they've turned you off. I don't mean like in a dating kind of way. I mean, they've flipped your switch to the off position. But guess what? Do you know how hard that is to flip the switch on? Well, you have a switch on the wall, right? Turn it on. Here's the thing, and if you don't think you can do this, just close your eyes and imagine yourself reaching into a handle, right? Inside yourself, and turn it on. Okay, and when society gives you a bad day, I've had a few of those, and it feels like your switch turned off, reach inside and turn it back on. It's really that hard and that easy. Because you have the capacity. You live in the same universe that I do. You have the same being that I do. All you got to do is turn your switch on. And if you want somebody who knows that you have that switch and will do everything to encourage you to be able to have the space and the grace to do so, go look me up at harrisforsenate.com. If that's the kind of person you want in your wheelhouse as a senator, like, donate, befriend, follow, whatever. Namaste. And I hope you have a beautiful day.